My God, gentlemen. Oh, come on.
The hell was that?
I wonder if he had a failure.
Well, that was interesting. So, welcome everybody to the Jetta Enthusiasts Club here in iRacing, also known as the Grand Touring Cup.
Although it did appear he made the corner.
Which sucks.
He's on
that
TeamSpeak with me, man. He said it throwed him out of the game. He wasn't even in the car anymore. I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
That's a bizarre situation, but
That makes sense.
But welcome. So apparently I have some damage on my rear bumper. Is evidence.
He fell down at several levels and threw him out. Well, hell, he's running cable. I don't know what the deal is.
It's evidenced by the Solstice smashing into me. I don't know why he's now running third. I'm being told to catch the 6th car. What 6th car? So I'm on the right line. Oh, this 6th car, really? No, I'm gonna hang back and let the Mustangs do their thing.
Yeah, John, you just flashed that.
So, yeah, we are at Summit Point this week. I am Neil and Jetta, and therefore, Victory Dance.
Get ready, going green.
I have won by default once again, which is not fun, but it is what it is. There are not many people driving the Jetta. In fact, I probably wouldn't drive it if I didn't already own one. Not specifically the TDI. I own a TSI and current generation, unless the new redesign doesn't count as a new generation. I refuse to allow it. Refuse to count that. Anyways, I figure we've got probably 25 minutes here to do a little bit of talking. So, since I am racing on by myself, apparently, I have decided that I would like to do a kind of a little bit of a track walk through here. For those of you who've never raced at Summit Point, unfamiliar where it is, it's in West Virginia. Far eastern West Virginia, in fact, close to Maryland. Kinda in the middle of nowhere. But we're gonna get this going. I've raced this track before, actually. I've raced it twice so far this season in 2 different cars. Obviously the Skips. We raced it in the Skips earlier. I had quite the eventful race. And I've also raced it in the Spec Ford. More on that later. But that was also quite the eventful race as well. So just a quick walk through the lap. Coming down the front stretch here. We're going to brake going into this first turn called the loop. We're going to brake around the 3rd cone. Brake pretty hard. Shift down to 3rd. I want to touch the inside curb, but I don't want to hop as much as I did there. Touching is okay, but hopping's not so much. We're going to accelerate out here into turn 3. This is Wagon Bend. Take in 5th, let off the gas a little bit. It's a blind uphill right. There's a trap right there. You gotta be careful. Get a lot of wrecks up there. Flat out here in the 6th, top gear through the chute. Brake right here toward that dirt patch on the right, down the 3rd. Through this turn, the first of 2 turns. Then there's carousel. Up the 4th real quick, back down to 3rd. Otherwise we're going to rev the engine up to 4th. Through these 3 turns here, these are the S's. Let off the gas a little bit just to get a little bit of turn in. Best way you can go through that corner at 3rd corner in the S's is to try and do it flat out. You can do it. I just didn't have it that time. Brake here, downshift a little bit into Paddock Bend, the final corner of the track. You can run wide here, run a little bit wide. Don't want to run too far. You touch the sand there, sand trap, you get a 1X. It's fairly easy to do. That's a pretty quick lap, 124. My fastest I just ran in qualifying is a 123.5. And my optimal is a 123.3, so I'm probably, to be honest, I'm probably pushing this car as far as it can go. We can't really change the setup too much. A bit of brake there. Kind of coast through that corner in the fifth. You can shift down in the fourth if you need to, but I prefer not to. I think it just adds an extra shift you don't really need to add. Dirt patch on the right. 3 quick shifts. Now for carousel, for that turn, you want to get close to the curb, but you don't want to get up on it. I was a little late on the braking there, so I'm going to be a little slow through this. This will not be a good lap. And so this is kind of this section right here. Those 4 turns, the 2 carousel turns and the first 2 S's, I happen to call them the nub. There's actually a more not safe for work term that I use as well. Yeah, it's a little bit better. You can kind of drift out a little bit farther there, but that's okay. As long as you keep 2 wheels on the track, you're fine. But call it the nub because it kind of looks like a little nub. See if we can get a little too much on the brakes there, but that was a better turn in. Gotta start shifting up as we get through the loop here. We've already got 8.3 seconds on the solstice. Oh, that was a little bit too much braking there. Kind of felt the car go a little sideways. And apparently, I didn't notice this until I was racing in this race. iRacing has turned auto blip back on for me. I did not touch that in the settings at all. I've been running no auto blip for a while, but apparently it's turned back on. Oh, too many shifts there. Didn't want to shift up to 6. I'll be in 5th. Get through that corner. Have to be really careful. Through that final corner. You can also take this in 6th. I just think you get better acceleration out of here onto the front stretch if you take it in 5th. At least that's what I did on my fast lap, and it seemed to work. You do get a little more power if you're already in 6th when you come down here.
Thanks, Vonda.
There we go. So, don't want to get too far over there. I could have gone a little bit more there. I think I scrubbed a little bit too much speed. But, and I missed my brake there. Took the corner way too wide. So, lately... Whoop. Alright. There we go. Now we're back in the rhythm. There we go. So lately I have been trying to do more to learn a little bit more about how to set up a car, and how to corner better, how to get more acceleration coming out on exit. I feel like those have been some of my weak points. So we got a lap car here we're gonna have to get past. But they've been watching some informational videos on YouTube from some professional racers, and I think it's been kind of helpful. Thank you very much. Nice guy. He's kind of down the back a little bit. But I have been doing a little bit better with a couple of things in particular. One of which is just getting through the corner, and more importantly, kind of keeping a track of where my eyes are looking. Now, I've always done a pretty good job of keeping an eye on what's going on ahead of me on the road. And there's only so much you can do to avoid accidents, but you can prevent a lot of accidents by looking ahead, knowing where people are braking, where they're paying attention to those kind of things. And I've noticed, and I was watching these videos, specifically the ones from a guy by the name of Scott Mansell. He's on the Driver61 YouTube channel, and he has a bunch of tutorials both for pro drivers and sim racers, and they're very helpful. And if you're kind of new to sim racing, or if you want to get better, he's got a lot of different videos and a lot of tutorials. I would recommend checking him out. His stuff is a little more like real world tech, but I find that a lot of what he says transfers over into a sim like iRacing or Assetto. And I think now that I've started really practicing and really trying to follow some of the real world advice of racing, I've noticed a distinct improvement in my lap times. I've noticed a distinct improvement in my racing ability. So I think it's starting to pay off. Let's see what this lap time is. Up to 124, maybe a little 123. 123.8. That's decent. Oh, and I've got
Car on your right. Clear the right.
not racing him, so I will let him by. That is the lapped Mustang, so I don't have to worry about him. Just to run your own race. You're running against your own class. You got an 18-second gap to the next solstice, so. But one of the things that I was kind of failing to do, and I think it's hard to tell. I kind of wish I had like an eye tracker on here so that you guys could see where I was looking as I'm trying to turn this car. But one of the things I wasn't doing very well, and I noticed this in hindsight, is I wasn't keeping my eyes focused on where they should be all of the time, and I've been trying to do that more lately, just especially with the road courses. Just been trying to keep my eyes where they should be. Like, for example, we're coming up to the loop here. First thing I need to be looking at is braking, and I'm going to be looking over at where the apex is. I can kind of feel the downshifts and hear them. I kind of went a little too hard on the braking zone there, but then I'm looking out toward the exit of my turn. So again, slow in, apex, exit. I think the one thing I've noticed is that as I'm doing that, you get more of a smooth turn in, and you carry more speed into the corner because you're paying attention to what you need to be doing. You're paying attention to where the car is going next. And the good thing is, as you learn tracks, you kind of learn where your corner apexes are in each of these cars, where you're braking at, where you're turning in, where you need to be exiting to get the best launch out onto a straight. You know, am I cornering? Am I making a left? Then there's not a right. So do I need to be looking ahead to the next apex? You know, things of that nature. But exit now. Shift up the 4th. Somebody has wrecked. That's not good. So I think the most difficult corner on the track is probably Wagon Bend, which is this one right here. Because it's real easy to do that. Real easy to carry a little bit too much speed and get a 1x on your safety rating, or you end up spinning the car instead. I think followed up, I would say this corner 6, the second half of carousel is pretty tough, and then corners 9 and 10, the last two corners, the two high speed corners right here, and then Paddock Bend, the next one, are probably the next most difficult, and then probably the loop after that. Unless you don't know your braking point, in which case the loop is very, very difficult, because if you don't know the brake around between the second and third cones, depending on what your car is, you can sometimes brake a little bit later, but depending upon your car, the situation of your tires, how much speed you're carrying into the corner, all of these things determining how fast you can take it. So, a couple of lap cars up here going up in the Wagon Bend. We'll catch them going into the chute.
Right side. Clear.
Gotcha, buddy. It's also, especially in multi-class racing, you really have to be cognizant of the fact that if you're in the middle class, and this was the case at Road Atlanta, if you're in the middle class, you're going to have, when I did Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, I should clarify, if you're in the middle class, if you're not racing the GT3, or if you're not racing the Daytona prototype, if a Daytona prototype is in your split, I'm going to slow down a little bit more there so that
Clear.
James there doesn't have to drive all the way off the track. So we're actually lapping the lapping the solstices on lap 12. Okay. So this is the back half of the solstice field. But if you're in a car that's going to be midfield, which usually is the GTEs, at like Le Mans and at Daytona, the big events like that. I didn't take that corner as well as I could have. Screw up too much speed, but if you're going to be in a middle class car like the Jetta is right now, and you're going to have cars that you are very slow versus and very fast versus, you have to be prepared to pass people and to know where you can pass, to know how to pass them.
Got a car
Gotcha.
left.
Thank you.
Clear.
And most people, if they're in a slower class like the Solstice is, and you're in a faster class, which basically is anything but a Solstice, which always is weird that the Solstice is slower than the Jetta. I don't understand that. Yeah, we're coming up through the field here. So these two guys are actually racing. I don't necessarily want to.
Car on your right.
Want to
Stay on the left.
Sorry about that, man.
Clear the right.
No worries.
I thought I should have probably, would have been better judgment not to try and pass him there. I thought I would get past. Wagon Bend's not the best place to pass if you're passing a slower car. I guess I was worried he's going to be a little bit slower. So 17.
Got a car on the left.
Thank you.
Clear.
I hope I didn't mess him up too much. He was only a couple seconds behind before. He was 1.8. I think he'll catch him again. Yeah, just the bump wasn't too much. That was just my mistake. That was 100% me for trying to jam that down there when I shouldn't have. I just kind of wanted to make sure I could get through before it started getting racy, because I knew I was a lot faster than them. Yeah, it's that's like that situation right there. That's part of the learning process and part of the what's the word I'm looking for? Learning process, part of the experience, I guess I can say, of multi-class racing is dealing with slower traffic. And if you're a Solstice being, or if you're like a GT3 car, a major race dealing with being the slow guy without being a jerk. Okay, so yeah, another Mustang on the way through here, so I will make sure to almost overshot that there. I was a little too light on the brakes. I should have been a little bit more firm. That was my fault. So another. There we go. That's much better. Get up on that curb a little bit. Oh, almost. So I could have taken it a little bit faster, actually. Keep in mind the number one thing is not to run a fast lap. It's to run a consistent lap. You want your laps to be as consistent and as drama-free as possible. You really want to push the car, but you don't want to push it too far that you lose the grip. And I think just maybe my experience with dealing with this kind of car as a daily driver has saved it there. Boy, that was a bad situation. Probably won't catch him on the I might catch one straight here. I'm gonna be on your right.
Got a car on the left. Stay on the right, clear on the left.
Thank you very much. And there's it's kind of a two-way street with racing. It's a matter of both knowing that you're slow and getting out of the way of the faster cars without sacrificing your lap too much. And if you're a faster guy, it's just as important that you're considerate of the slower guys. Give them a chance to get out of the way. Let them know where you are. Don't be a jerk about it and try and dive bomb them. If you're in a situation like I was just there and you're going to be on the inside, let them know you're going to be on the inside. So that they don't turn in suddenly you're there. I think the tires are starting to go a little bit. My lap tires aren't quite as good. You can feel the grip is not quite as much there as it used to. Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's also worth knowing too, as the race winds down here, as we're we're lapping everybody. It is worth noting that you do need to make adjustments to how you drive as the race goes on. Sometimes grip levels will change. Not so much in iRacing, but other. I might be. Nope, I'm not gonna be inside. Oh, I'll be inside. Yep, thank you.
Right side. Clear.
I didn't realize he was gonna slow down, so I was just like, I didn't know if I should slow down, let him through the carousel, and then pass him after that corner, or shift it there. Okay, let's just get back on track here. So I'm gonna be on the right here.
Got a car on the left. Clear.
Yep, no problem. Not a problem. Thank you. So, yeah. A little bit of kindness goes a long way in iRacing, I think. And it kind of makes me wish, this is maybe my one wish for iRacing, was a kudos, or kind of a system like they have in League of Legends after a match, where you can give people honors if they were not total jerks about it. So that's the one thing I wish iRacing would add, in addition to just getting, you know, bonus not bonus SR, but, you know, in addition to not having, okay, there we go. In addition to not having, you know, a lot of safety rating deducted from your license level, it would be nice to find a way to be able to reward people who are generally nice racers, or who do stuff like that, are very courteous on the track, other than, you know, just whatever their license is. So that's the white flag. I'm gonna avoid being lapped, aren't I? I'll take that. That's pretty good. I didn't get lapped by the Mustangs.
Lovely tire form there.
There we go. Alright, so this will be our last lap around here, but some kind of an honors system. I guess I could see why they maybe don't want to do that. But at the same time, I kind of feel like it would be really nice to be able to say, hey, this guy is a good racer. He's a clean racer. He raced me hard and wrecked me. I want the world to know, especially because not everybody records and streams. So, you know, it would be nice. Also, by the way, let me know in the comments how the mic sounds. I made some changes. I know I've got a lot of popping and whatnot on the headset mic, so I made some changes. I'll be making some more changes as we go on here.
There's a
Oh,
flag. It's over.
oh, that's
Great
quite
job,
the.
driver.
Oh well, he got air. Oh, he got quite a bit of air. We're just going to pull off here on the road that leads to the skid pad, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Got ourselves another win. Pretty uneventful race outside of the beginning, but thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It's another track down off the win list. Wish we could have raced somebody though, but such is the life of the middle car. It's the only one that's not fast or free. So I will see you next time. We got some more iRacing coming up here this week, including hopefully the Roar before 24. Hopefully I'll get to race that a couple times. We'll see how that goes. Until then, take care.